to the Perimenopause Belly Fat Blueprint, where we will get you your 25-year-old body back and restore hormonal balance in 45 days. So, welcome to the training today. Here is what you're going to learn. Number one, why your diet is causing more fat storage. Number two, you're changing hormones. In perimenopause, we're going through a hormonal transition. We're going to learn how to work differently with your body in midlife than you have previously. Number three, we're going to learn what fat burning mode is, how to get there, how to stay in fat burning mode, and why you're stuck in fat storing mode currently. Number four, we're also going to learn about rising cortisol and the impact it's had on fat storage. This could be one of the main drivers, could also be something else, but we're going to uncover rising cortisol. We're also going to be talking insulin, we're going to be talking sex hormones, thyroid, all of those beautiful things. And number five, you're going to walk away with 3 actionable tips to start burning belly fat and start seeing results today. So, who this is for and who it isn't for. This is for you if you notice belly fat creeping on without any lifestyle changes. This is what the majority of my clients come to me. They say, "Hey, Morgana, I'm, doing the calories in, calories out. I'm eating less. I'm moving more. I'm on the treadmill at 6 a.m. every single day. And the scale just keeps going up. I see my belly getting bigger." And that's because these methods haven't worked because they're created for men. We're going to get a little bit deeper into that, but you're playing a hormonal game, and we need to start to realign your methods with that hormonal game. And this is for you if you've noticed your hormones have been changing. Maybe you're seeing some perimenopause symptoms creeping on. Maybe your cycle is starting to change. Maybe you're starting to have some temperature control issues, whatever that might be, and whatever that might look like for you. And this is for you if you're sick of diet culture and you want a better solution, something that doesn't constantly underfuel you and overtrain you, leaving you feeling exhausted and like you're not seeing results and you're just stuck on this hamster wheel constantly. And this is for you if you feel overwhelming chronic stress. Stress is inevitable. It's going to happen. And so we need to learn how to regulate your nervous system to achieve the results that we want to achieve so that way you can basically feel mega confident in your body and navigate your lifestyle with ease. And this is for you if you want to create lasting change. So my big promise is that in the next 25 minutes, we're going to solve this problem once and for all. We're going to understand why diet culture, number one, has failed you. It's absolutely not your fault if you're trying all the methods that you see on social media and nothing is working. You're ending up heavier on the scale or you're seeing short-term loss and long-term weight gain. It's absolutely not your fault. Those methods weren't created for women and especially not for women in midlife. And number two, we're going to understand what is actually happening on a hormonal level in perimenopause. Nobody teaches this. Nobody teaches what starts to change hormonally when you're going through this transition. You're thrown into the deep end and expected to navigate it all on your own. And so that's what we want to also help you with today is understanding what's happening to your body. We're going to understand how to get you out of fat storing mode and into fat burning mode and keep you there. And number four, we're going to learn how to regulate chronic high cortisol, which is causing increased belly fat. Because like I said, stress is inevitable. So we're going to make sure that that is being regulated and you're living life having no chronic fatigue, having energy, feeling like your 25-year-old self again. And you, like I said, we're going to walk away with 3 actionable steps you can take to see results. So why I've put this training together for you today, and this is my plan as well. Firstly, I know how it feels to try every diet out there and not see results. I myself used to be a professional dancer. I was caught in a 10-year loop of trying every diet, underfueling my body, overtraining, trying everything, seeing the weight constantly being crept on no matter what I tried. I also gave myself a hormonal condition because of it called adenomyosis. I know exactly how it feels. And number two, I want to help you understand that you are playing a hormonal game with your weight loss. I like to think of it like this. Classic weight loss methods for women, it's like you're playing the game of taboo, but your body is playing a game of chess. You need to realign and play the same game with your body so we work with it and not against your biology. Number three, I've seen through my clients the confusion around what to do to hit their goals. We're in such a trying time. You see one person on social media saying, do this for weight loss, and then you just scroll and you see another video saying why it's horrible to do that. And it can be so confusing, and I don't want that for you. I want you to gain a clear understanding of what is happening to your body, what fat burning mode is, how to achieve it, and how to manage stress along with it and the rest of your hormones. That way you can actually see results. And like I said, I want you to have actionable steps as well. And I 100% know that we can get you back to feeling like you again in your 25-year-old body. If you stay towards the end, you'll have the opportunity to get these 5 things. Number one, a 5-day perimenopause reset plan. We're going to basically reset your hormones, develop better habits, learn how to manage that insulin and cortisol, some of the main hormone hierarchy hormones that we're going to be working with today. Number two, you're going to get my hormone cheat sheet. So we have 5 main hormones which can go awry in perimenopause. You're going to get all of my cheats and hacks in this document to basically help you learn and cheat your body. So that way you're playing the hormonal game with your body. You're going to get my Elevate in 10 workout series. These are 2 10-minute workouts which are designed to boost your metabolism and help you speed up fat loss. And they're super time friendly. You can do them from home. They're amazing. I use them myself. You're going to get my From Fatigue to Freedom video series. This is insane. I've created 3 videos. One is how to reclaim your energy, get out of chronic fatigue. Number 2 is how to boost your metabolism and burn fat. And number 3 video is how to create hormone harmony naturally. And you're going to walk away today with a complimentary midlife optimization session with me, where we're basically going to give you a blueprint that is unique to you, unique to your lifestyle, so that way you can start seeing results. Okay? So who the heck am I? Why should you listen to me? Number one, I was a former 2-time world champion Latin dancer. I had a beautiful 20-year career. Like I mentioned, 10 of those years, I was on that diet culture loop. I gave myself adenomyosis, and that's why I turned to holistic health. I'm now 3 years growth free, and it's been 6 years since I've lost and sustainably kept off the weight that was hormonal weight. I am an IIN and MyMT certified menopause health coach. I have created the company This Isn't a Diet, where we help women get back to their 25-year-old bodies and restore hormonal balance in just 45 days. I'm also the best-selling author of Read This When You're Done Dieting and podcast host of Listen to This When You're Done Dieting. So the biggest problem that you currently face right now is, and I want you to put your hand up or just relate to this if you feel this way. Every time you pass a mirror, you poke at your belly and you feel deflated and unconfident. I've been there myself in those 10 years. I know exactly how it feels. And that's because number one, the diets you tried haven't been working. We're going to dive deeper into why this is the case, but diet culture is created for men and it's not created for the hormonal shifts that we experience every single day as a woman, and especially not when your hormones are even changing further in perimenopause. And you might feel run down and like you have no time to commit more to this goal. So you might be putting so much time trying to go to the gym for 90 minutes or run on the treadmill for an hour or meal prep or research different diets, and you might be doing even something as crazy as 75 hard where you're trying to go to the gym twice a day and you feel you have no more time. A sustainable weight loss, hormonally balanced plan will get you there in a realistic time that is actually realistic to your current lifestyle. Okay, so I want you to know that it's not a time game that we're playing, it's super time friendly. And also, if you aren't seeing progress through your workouts, something is going off. Okay, if you're doing like the HIIT, the cardio, you're being a cardio bunny doing your Zumba classes, we need to readdress some of those things. And on top of all of that, you might be starting to see perimenopause symptoms. Your temperature might be going off, having hot flashes, night sweats, you're having trouble sleeping, your cycle's getting shorter and heavier, or it's getting longer. You might be seeing a myriad of different symptoms. And the underlying pain and the frustration that this causes in your life, it could be a loss of confidence. I know when I was going through it myself, I definitely withdrew socially. I didn't want to be outside. I didn't want people seeing me. I definitely know how that feels, and you might be feeling that way yourself. You might feel like your body is working against you, and this can create a feeling of helplessness. You might be like, okay, well, nothing I'm doing is working. What's the point, even? This can also cause shifts in your career. So maybe you're striving for a promotion, or maybe you work for yourself and you're trying to expand your business, and your perimenopause symptoms are just, taking that away from you. You don't have that same energy, you don't have that same confidence. And, 1 out of every 10 women in Canada, they end up leaving the workforce because of perimenopause related symptoms, because we're not given the right tools to navigate this transition. And I don't want that for you. You might also be unfulfilled to go and seek out more social connections, or even just see your current friends and make time for them. And this can also impact your family life. Like you might not feel you have enough energy to play with your kids after school. You don't have time, or the mental space or capacity, because you're dealing with so much with this hormonal transition, to spend time with your partner, things like this. And that's because you aren't operating at your peak energy. So this is what you want, and this is how I'm going to show you how to get it today. I want you to take a second and imagine, how would it feel to get back into your 25-year-old body and be symptom free? Just think about that for a second. What does that look like? Waking up, having like a deep, restful sleep, waking up, having energy, feeling super confident in your body, killing it in the different aspects of your career. And that brings me to the next one. What would this mean for your work? Would you be able to get that promotion? Would you have more energy and more input into your daily life? Would you be able to take your kids, not get home basically and feel exhausted after work, but take your kids to the park, play with them, spend time with them, go on a date with your partner and feel super sexy in your body? What would that mean for your social life? These are incredible questions I want you to start to imagine, because it is 100% possible for you. This is the path that you need to take to get these results. I'm going to give you the method. Okay. So I've coined something called the fat burn protocol. Now, this is where, firstly, diets, they slow down your metabolism and they enact your safety mechanism. Let's talk firstly about calories in versus calories out. This is one of the classic methods that I see all the time, and I see people still trying it. And what this does is it slows down your metabolism. I chronically see people come to me and they're like, I'm trying 1,200 calories. Well, firstly, your caloric needs vary over your cycle. So you're basically fighting against your biology at certain points in your cycle. And guess what? Your biology is going to win. When it's the week before your period, you're having more hunger because that's normal and you should be refilling those caloric needs. But because you're following that method and you've slowed down your metabolism, your body is highly adaptable. It will drop your metabolism to fit those 1,200 caloric needs. Then you're going to see in the long term that your biology is going to win. You're going to start putting on more weight. You're going to be in a worse off position because you've slowed down your metabolism. And not to mention that this endangers your hormones when we do that. We as women, we thrive on nourishment and safety. The same goes for your hormones. And that's why I call it your safety mechanism, because your body is designed to do two things. It's designed to survive and it's designed to reproduce. And so, what does it do when it's feeling unsafe, when we're subjecting ourselves to diet culture and to these extremely restrictive things? Or overtraining, your body's going to store fat as safety. It's going to be like, look, we're prioritizing survival right now. So we are just going to store fat because we don't know when our next meal is coming. And so that is the safety mechanism portion there. Now, many typical weight loss methods that we see are built for the male biology. Up until the 1990s, they only included men in weight loss research because as women, our hormones change every single day over the course of a month, right? And especially in midlife, when we're going through this hormonal transition, it's extremely unpredictable. And so they didn't include that in the research, but they decided to give us that same information that they were using for men: calories in versus calories out. Eat less, move more, avoid carbs altogether. And heads up, you need carbs in order to properly ovulate and continue having a cycle. And so things like this is why there's a complete mismatch in our approach based on our biology. And number three, your hormones are changing in perimenopause. So we need to hack them to shift the belly fat. So firstly, we have something called a follicle stimulating hormone. I'm going to call it FSH. And basically what happens when you enter your follicular phase, that FSH is going to travel down to your ovaries. It's going to knock on the door and be like, hey, we need you to prepare an egg in the next couple of days. So your body's going to release estrogen and it's going to start that process for ovulation. And so now when you enter perimenopause, your body needs to scream louder to prepare an egg and to have an ovulation. So your body's going to release more FSH. It's going to knock and scream on that door of your ovaries, and then more estrogen is going to be released. So that's why we see a lot of erratic estrogen happening in early perimenopause. That's because your body is screaming louder in order for these normal processes to happen. And basically, that's why we see a lot of symptoms. That's why we see stubborn belly fat, because estrogen loves to bind also to adipose tissue receptors. So we need to be making sure your estrogen is properly being metabolized and detoxed. On top of that, we're seeing other symptoms. This can impact your thyroid, and you can start having like hot flashes and night sweats. It can impact your insulin. You might be sleeping less because you have lower progesterone. Progesterone is your calm and basically and your deep sleep hormone. So when you're having too high of estrogen and we're not supporting progesterone along with it, then we're obviously going to also affect our sleep. And this causes, again, other hormonal issues. So it's like this vicious cycle that keeps happening. And we need to break that cycle. We need to hack them to shift the belly fat. Now, you've tried the diets. It's time to play the hormonal game. So now, by now, I hope you've noticed that the methods that you're using, they don't address the main hormonal concerns. If anything, they make hormone concerns worse. And so we need to first align your internal body systems so that your body feels safe to release the weight. And the results that you'll see are inches off your waist and 10 plus pounds lost from the belly fat in 45 days. I had this incredible client. Her name was Jessica Collins. She's a surgeon, and she came to me when she started to basically enter her 40s. She was on that diet roller coaster. She was trying keto. She was counting her macros. After a 12-hour day, working in surgery, she would go to the gym with her trainer and do a circuit HIIT training, and she felt exhausted. She wasn't sleeping because she was on call, and also she had trouble sleeping, and all of these things. And she started to have fat pads, as she liked to call them, coming in certain places, and especially on the belly. She couldn't fit into her old scrubs. And so by the end, she lost inches off her waist and thighs. She was able to fit into it. She loved the food variety with basically boosting estrogen and progesterone at key times in her cycle, protecting her insulin levels. So she had stable energy throughout the day, and she was in fat burning mode, and obviously regulating her nervous system. So that way she was also managing cortisol and keeping the weight off. So these incredible things are why when you play the hormonal game, trust me, the results will come. When you utilize this protocol, your hormones recalibrate and that stubborn weight begins to melt off. That's why we've also created the other main pillar of what we teach is the hack your body method. So firstly, we're going to talk glucose spikes. So constant glucose and insulin spikes, they put you in fat storing mode, which we don't want to be. Let me explain. Basically, when you eat something, anything with a little bit of sugar, that sugar will hit your bloodstream and your glucose levels will go up. Your pancreas will then release insulin, and insulin, its main job is to bind to that glucose, and it will pack it into one of three places, either your liver, either your muscles for later use, and it turns it into something called glycogen, or number three, it will pack it into your fat stores for later use. And so this is why you're constantly in fat storing mode. And so what we need to do, and what tends to happen, by the way, as we get older, our risk for insulin resistance increases. So what that means is basically your body and those receptors for insulin, they lose their sensitivity. So you're left with a lot of free-floating insulin, a lot of extra glucose just running around in your bloodstream, and you're storing more and more fat. And this can lead to certain metabolic conditions, like diabetes being one of them. And of course, you're just stuck in this fat storing mode. Even if you have a low sugar diet, you could still be insulin resistant because there are certain other lifestyle practices that we need to bring in order to basically get out of this insulin resistance. So we'll teach you the blood sugar hacks to enter and stay in fat burning mode. So stay till the end because one of the main hacks I'm going to give you is an incredible glucose minimizing and insulin minimizing hack. So stay till the end. And number four, now we're going to talk cortisol. So perimenopausal women are in what I like to call the sandwich era. You might be at the height of your career at this point. So you're juggling so many more demands. You might be trying to progress to a certain level. And then on top of that, you might have kids who demand a lot of your time and energy. Maybe they're becoming teenagers and they're a lot more difficult. On the flip side, you might have aging parents which are causing you to worry and stress out, and they might take up a little bit more of your time. You might be managing a household and trying to follow up on social obligations and just live. You're trying to juggle so many hats. And this causes chronic high cortisol and increased belly fat storage. And so, what tends to happen when we have high cortisol? Firstly, high cortisol, it will deplete your subcutaneous fat, but it will fill in your visceral fat. This is the dangerous kind of fat which goes around your organs and it can cause other metabolic conditions. And so this is why, stress is inevitable. Like I said, you're not going to kick your kids out of the house. You're not going to stop worrying about your parents. You're not going to quit your job. But we do need to regulate your nervous system so that way your body feels safe. It can release the weight. And that way you can also, again, like release all of the perimenopause symptoms you might be feeling. And getting insulin and cortisol regulated will help you see the scale shifting week by week, and you'll be able to keep the weight off for good. We have a hormone hierarchy. Okay, so I know I've talked a lot about sex hormones. I've mentioned a bit about the thyroid. Your cortisol and insulin sit at the base of the foundation. Until we get these two balanced, the rest are not going to be balanced. We need to take a bottom up. So it goes cortisol and insulin, then your thyroid hormone. So once these two are better, you're going to see much more temperature control, better metabolism, more energy, which is your thyroid is responsible for. And on top of that sits your sex hormones. And so those will be better regulated as a result of focusing on these two. That's why we always start from the bottom up. Okay, so not only will you see a huge belly fat reduction, but you will also notice your perimenopause symptoms disappear because guess what? It's all connected. So this is where we introduce the Your Unique system as well. And this is where one size fit all solutions, they neglect your bio individuality. If you've never heard of bio individuality, what that means is that my needs differ from your needs, differ from her needs, right? So my nutrition and my lifestyle should look so different from yours and vice versa. And so when you're on these programs that are like 75 hard, or you're on like a basic ketogenic diet that your neighbor is doing, or just following something that your trainer put together for like all the ladies in your group, it's not realistic for your lifestyle. You're not going to feel that motivated to achieve it, and it's not going to address your main nutritional deficiencies, your movement plans that you need, the life stress that is coming in. You need something that is custom. And like I said, your needs differ from another woman. Your plans should reflect that. And for every client that I work with, we create custom meal, fitness, life stressors, sleep optimization, biohacking, and detox plans, even gut protocols, everything you name it, to see rapid, sustainable results. And if following a one size fit all approach would have worked, you probably wouldn't be here with me by now. Let's be honest. And this curated approach and coaching, it guarantees success. I've seen it every step of the way. When you have the step in play, you have a professional, AKA me, literally holding your hand through every step on your journey. Every pound that you lose, I'm there with you. So I want to give you those 3 actionable tips to burn belly fat in midlife. Number 1, you're going to start ditching the diet. Okay. I know this can be scary, But trust me, it works. We need to get that safety mechanism under control. And if you need more convincing, I suggest you rewatch this video again. Um, and I want you to begin having 3 quality meals per day with sufficient protein. Firstly, that's really important. Most women are following a standardized Western diet where they're only getting protein in at dinner, right? If you see yourself, for example, having oatmeal in the morning and a salad for lunch, and then having some form of meat and veggies for dinner, then you're definitely not hitting your protein goals. Okay, so we need to be getting at least 30 grams of protein in per meal as a minimum, so that way protein synthesis can start. You also need to have enough good, healthy fats because this creates your sex hormones. So don't fall into the low fat myth. It's a complete myth. You need healthy fats to also keep you full and to regulate your appetite to create those beautiful sex hormones. So think organic grass-fed butter, ghee, adding avocado, having healthy fish, extra virgin olive oil, beautiful things you can simply add to your plates, and this will help you so much. And then I want you to keep your complex carbohydrates around your workouts. So what that means, your complex carbs are things that break down slower from a glucose perspective in your body. Refined carbs are things like bread and pasta, which hit your bloodstream really quickly, and it can cause you insulin to come in and then store that as fat right away. So complex carbs you can use throughout your day as energy. Think like sweet potato, oats, quinoa. And this is something that we work on in my fat burn protocol. Number 2, I want you to start your mornings with a minimum of 30 grams of protein. Okay, I see a lot of women come to me and they're like, yeah, I have 2 eggs for breakfast. Okay, great. That's only about 12 grams of protein. We need to be upping that. Add some smoked salmon, have a little chia seed pudding on the side of that, or add in, for example, like just take your leftovers from dinner, make a little burrito with it, some steak and some, beans, maybe something there, and we have a full recipe guide in my programs to basically get you up to 30 grams of protein because you're probably not hitting that, or it might feel like very difficult to hit. And this is an incredible insulin regulating hack. So this is an amazing blood sugar hack, basically, that I promise you I would give you because you're the most glucose sensitive in the morning. You need sufficient protein in order to keep your energy stable all day and to put you in fat burning mode. Protein is a huge contributor to that. And I want you to save the coffee for after your food. If you have coffee on an empty stomach, you're raising and spiking your cortisol. First thing in the morning, you don't have any food to absorb that. And then you're going to set yourself up for chronic high cortisol and energy dips throughout your day. Number 3, I want you to begin to track your cycle and symptoms to regain control over your patterns. Okay. And I mean it. So I, every morning, measure my basal temperature first thing before I get out of bed, measure the temperature so I can predict when I'm ovulating, when I'm in my follicular ovulation, luteal menstruation phases, so I can tailor my nutrition and fitness and stress around those peak phases. And not to mention, when you're going through perimenopause, I want you to also track. For example, if you notice every day at 3 p.m., your energy is crashing, you reach for something sweet and you grab a coffee, track that because information is power and you can make educated choices around that. Okay, so that's the first thing. Track when you're not sleeping, track when you're having hot flashes, because it can also bring back some predictability to a really unpredictable time. And we can take preventative strategies to help with that symptom relief while we're working on root cause issues. Okay, and these small steps will kickstart your hormone healing journey to ditch the stubborn weight. So I had this amazing client. Her name was Kiana. She lost 8 pounds in 45 days. That was 8 pounds of fat, but she increased her muscle mass and she also had no more bloating or cravings. And she lost inches off of her waist, arm, and thighs, as we can see in the picture. We worked together to reduce overeating. This was a big one for her because coming from North America, the portion sizes are just insane. And so she constantly felt really uncomfortable after eating and like she just felt like she had to finish her everything on her plate. So we also repaired her relationship with food. She felt lighter. She's a dancer as well. She felt lighter dancing, more energized. She has pain-free cycles now. So this was an incredible client. And Ingrid, funnily enough, she was not able to take a picture of herself at the start. She just did not have the confidence for it. But she lost 10 pounds in 40 days from her belly, bum, and thighs. She eliminated perimenopause symptoms, and she told me she was able to see her abs for the first time in years. I mean, look at her. She looks so confident now. When she sent me this picture, I was like, oh my gosh, your confidence now is insane. So we did this through regulating her nervous system. We prioritized insulin balancing to keep her in that fat burning mode. We did a great hormone detox for her, and her confidence soared. So I want you to take a second now, and what could your story look like 45 days from now? If you're in the thick of it, you're navigating symptoms, you're not feeling good about your body, you just don't feel good in the skin that you're in, and you want to get back to feeling like you again, I want you to picture what that would look like. Okay, just take a second. And are you my next success story? I would absolutely love for you to be. So I want you to book in a consultation session below. And on the call, this is what we're going to discuss, what you've tried and why it hasn't worked. I want to get a deeper understanding of your journey up until now, and what you've been dealing with. I want you to tell me what your goals are for this year. So that way we can hit them, we can achieve them together. You will basically also get an exact roadmap that you need to execute on for this to work. Okay. And we'll talk about the next steps to becoming a private client of ours. And every single that person that books in a call will be leaving with a customized blueprint. And that's anyways worth $800. Okay. So the biggest obstacle you face right now is maybe you decide to put it off. Maybe you lose motivation. Maybe you get stuck. Maybe you tell yourself excuses as to why you can't start. But there's this quote that I love, and Einstein said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So if you hop back on that diet culture trend, you're honestly, I'm gonna just be so blunt, you're insane because you're not playing the hormonal game. You're going back to methods that haven't worked and that haven't gotten results. And I guess that's why you're here with me right now, is you want to see those results. So take action and the offer to schedule a free plan. I want you to take action now. Book in the call below or repeat the same thing that you've always done. And here's what you need to do next. So head to the link below. This isn't-a-diet.com/booking. And here's what will happen after you've booked in. You will reserve your time. We will meet on Zoom. We're going to go over what you've been through, what goals you have, how we can achieve them, and you will get a blueprint that you can walk away with and begin implementing that very same day. So these are some questions I get asked all the time. What is this call about? You're going to basically get the opportunity to hash out what hasn't been working, why it hasn't been working, some hormones that might be getting in the way. And basically, I want to give you actionable tips so you can start seeing those results. Am I talking to the real coach? Yes, you're going to be talking to me because before I do any plans, I need to meet with you. I need to see what you've been going through. And so that way I can make my best recommendations for you. Why is this different from anything else that I've tried? Because firstly, now you're going to be working with your biology and not against it. You're going to find that this flows. This is going to be so much easier than anything else that you've ever tried because you're finally working with your changing body and not against it. You're going to it's insane. The ease that this comes with is great. What do I decide? What do I get if I decide to work with you? You get my full fat burn protocol, my full hack your body method, your unique system where I will create customized meal, fitness, life stressors, detox, gut protocols, biohacking protocols for you in a specified time frame. And you're going to get me literally there every week, holding your hand step by step, pound by pound, as we help you reach your goals. So that's exactly what you get. You get that accountability, that structure, that motivation, that guidance, that complete reset. How much does it cost? Nothing. The call is absolutely free. I can't guarantee you access to my programs, and this is simply to help people who are actually serious about achieving their goals. And do I guarantee results? Hell yes, I do. So make sure you book in that call. I would love to meet with you and help you achieve your goals. And let's get into it.